You may inform the Secretary of the Royal Society that I have entitled my Michaelmas lecture, Darwin's Fundamental Error.
That'll raise a few hackles, sir.
Will it not? I must be off. You can,
Did you hear how Roy barked last night? It was dreadful.
No, I didn't. Did you hear him, Bennett?
I can't say I did, sir.
He kept on and on. He howled, too. I'm sure someone got into the garden.
An intruder?
Yes, because... Oh, Father.
Dreaming. Oh, Edith. Nobody could reach your window. It's far too far off the ground.
I am sure I wasn't dreaming.
Bennett, you take charge, or I shall be late for the faculty meeting.
Can you believe me?
Not easily, no.
From just below here.
From below?
There. And there. Do you see? The ivy's pulled away. I must have fainted.
You're quite certain you didn't dream this, Edith?
Quite. Our engagement.
But why?
I could not give my hand to a man who...
Watson, come at once, if convenient. If inconvenient, come all the same. Holmes, I got your note.
And it is inconvenient. Damned inconvenient.
Your old wound is troubling you.
No.
I prefer to differ. Your step was uneven on the stairs.
I have a full surgery, Holmes.
You must excuse a certain abstraction of mind, Watson.
I see.
It's a tangled scheme. I've been looking for a loose end which might unravel it. One such might reside in the question, does Professor Presbury's daughter wake or dream?
I'm summoned here for no more than this.
You've heard of Presbury?
Of course, who hasn't? It's our most
Miss Presbury's bedroom is on the second floor and is completely inaccessible to even the most agile cat burglar. Read this. Arrived by the 1 o'clock post. Ah. The author already arrives, ahead of his time. A most precipitate young man. Mr. Bennett, my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
I've wasted your time entirely.
You've discovered a rational reason for Miss Presbury's fears.
No, I can't say that. Well, it's a delicate matter, but I must beg you to proceed no further. I can, of course, recompense you.
Mr. Bennett, your letter was less than frank, was it not?
I set out the facts.
Not all, I suspect. Probably out of loyalty to your...
Mr. Holmes' memories of a photographical order.
Quite so.
Yourself, I dare say, reluctant to accept the evidence insisted upon by Miss Presbury. Further, as a father's trusted assistant, to have recourse to me must smack to you of disloyalty.
Exactly. I'm part of the family, except that Edith... And Miss Presbury, she was so upset that she...
Mr. Bennett, who would you prefer to alienate? Your prospective wife or her celebrated father?
You give me a choice of evils. Neither.
Then furnish me with the facts, and I will see how I can help you. You may rely on the discretion of both of us.
Well?
Would you, for example, describe Miss Presbury... Professor Presbury's engagement to her came to you as something of a surprise. He is, after all, 3 times...
You ask him, do you think?
Father's extremely proud of his orchids.
I hate them. They're so... Oh, I don't know, so impure somehow. Do please ask him not to send them any more. There's a sweet friend, Edith, please.
Can you not ask him?
I couldn't. I daren't. I'm such a coward.
Well...
Oh, please. You've got so much more character than me. You're as strong as he.
But Alice...
Oh, I don't know. I'm so frightened.
Of marrying my father?
What do you think of this one?
Well, neither Miss Presbury nor I consider her father's infatuation with Miss Morphy to be entirely appropriate. Rather excessive.
And her parents had no objections to the marriage?
The Professor is a respectable widower.
And a wealthy man. When may I call?
Call?
To view Miss Presbury's window. To determine for myself its accessibility or otherwise to an intruder. Shall we say 11 o'clock tomorrow morning?
Professor Presbury will be at his college.
That's of no matter. At present, my inquiries are purely logistical.
I have never had any secrets from the Professor.
Mr. Bennett, let me refer you to your first question, which you have in fact answered. You're more inclined to Miss Presbury's party than you are to your employer's.
Yes, I dare say.
Thank you. Good day.
Good day.
Holmes, you're prying into the affairs of a perfectly respectable family.
Why is Bennett so reluctant to tell the truth?
Loyalty, it's as plain as a pikestaff.
Let us hope so. Yet he wrote to me under duress. You notice his handwriting? The crossing of the T's with such deep indentation? And then upon his arrival, his endeavours to call the whole thing off. No, there's more to this than meets the eye.
I do not agree. This case is unworthy of you. I must return to my surgery.
Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.
My dear, I trust you slept better.
Oh, yes. Last night I removed to the guest bedroom.
Oh, no need, surely. It was but an ugly dream.
Father, Alice has asked me...
Yes?
The truth is, she does not care for orchids.
She doesn't? Well, why did she not say so?
She was afraid.
Yes, 24 red roses. The boy was quiet enough last night.
Not to rouse him, sir.
Docility itself. Marked change, MacPhail. Huh?
Shall we go up?
If Miss Presbury has no objection.
I understand the necessity.
Let us lead the way, my dear.
I'm glad you're by yourself today, Watson. You were a veritable bear yesterday.
Touch liverish, perhaps.
This is where the figure appeared?
Yes.
There's no ladder on the premises that could reach this height.
No.
Was the window ajar?
Yes. I keep the door locked.
Did the hand touch the window pane?
I don't know. I fainted.
Of course you did, of course you did.
No, it's a formidable elevation. Yet the ivy is strong. Hedera lebriensis. Torn away just here.
However, let us go down.
The back stairs?
Certainly not.
Bennett! What did you do in my lecture? Who the devil are you, sir?
Father, I'm sorry.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Who?
The detective.
Professor Presbury. My card.
221B. Hardly an address to inspire confidence.
I have never sought to inspire confidence in others. I have quite enough of my own. May I introduce my colleague, Dr. Watson?
You should have consulted me before resorting to such methods. A common detective and his accomplice. Really. Now, sir, allow me to escort you from the premises. My assistant had no authority to engage you in this matter. Kindly inquire into it no further. Should you persist, I shall have no hesitation in calling the police. This strait of the yard is well known to me, so beware.
I would not hesitate in calling the strayed, Professor, if you wish to have the mystery solved.
There is no mystery, sir. None. Now be gone with you. Or would you have me release my dog? Believe me, you'll not distinguish between a hired snoop and a low intruder. Or will you be gone, sir, will you?
We shall, sir, we shall. But you're over the mark. Kindly watch your words.
As agreed, despite... A happy one. Snarling people have snarling dogs. You observed the Presbyter's Irish wolfhound as well as I? He growled quite as much at his master as it at us, two complete strangers.
That animal did not reserve its animosity solely for the Professor.
Well, we'll seek verification from young Bennett when he arrives. I sent word by way of Jock MacPhail after our meeting at the Goat and Compasses.
Another of your agents, Holmes?
The Presbyter's coachman. His charge at Roy. I joined him last night for what he calls a wee Goldie. Now, here's Bennett.
Mr. Holmes, I cannot pretend I'm happy to have answered your summons.
Of course. And I continue to appreciate the division of your loyalties. It's no small wonder that you have withheld so much. Or Sir MacPhail informs me.
MacPhail?
Who better than the family coachman to advise me how matters might truly stand? Turd animal, was he not?
Edith wanted Roy chained from that moment.
But her father overruled her.
He insisted that he was still a dear, affectionate dog, that he wasn't congenitally vicious.
But not after the third attack.
No, he did agree then that he had to be restrained.
And Roy was banished to the chain in the stable yard.
Yes.
MacPhail believes that the change in Roy's behavior stems from about 2 months ago.
I think it may have. I didn't keep a strict note of it.
Consult your fiancé, Bennett, and MacPhail. The precise log of these events may yet prove pertinent. I observed that the professor lectures at the university at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I shall call then.
No! I couldn't possibly agree, no!
Bennett, Miss Presbyter did not dream. Someone or something looked in upon her. It is my conviction that your fiancé is in grave danger.
From whom?
No, sir. From whom? Or from what? The secretary, you handled the professor's correspondence.
Oh, yes, it's my responsibility to open every letter.
Has it always been Miss Presbyter's habit to lock her bedroom door at night?
No. Well, she told me that
Yes?
it was after Roy began to behave so strangely.
That she too became afraid of the dog?
Mr. Holmes, you mustn't touch his desk.
Bennett! Thank you. Inform me of the correspondence the professor had with someone called Doric. Commercial Road, of course, EC. It would appear that the professor answers such correspondence himself.
Well, again,
Again, you've been reluctant to speak.
yes. Some 8 weeks ago, he told me that certain missives might arrive from East Central marked by a cross under the stamp.
The code?
And did they? Regularly?
Irregularly. I was to leave them unopened and speak of them to no one.
You said missive. They were not letters.
Well, somewhere, others were small packets.
And did you observe Professor Presbyter's replies?
No, they didn't pass through my hands.
Yet the evidence would suggest that he did respond.
To the Hindu, the dog is a traditional enemy of the monkey.
What was that, Watson?
What? Nothing.
I've invited Alice to take tea with us.
Do not be too severe upon your fiancé, Miss Presbyter. He has acted for the best. And please, will you continue to lock your door at night?
Was that Sherlock Holmes? The Sherlock Holmes?
Your observation goes to the very heart of this business, Watson.
Observation?
Concerning the monkey and the dog, the very heart of it.
Ah, you think so?
If you be so kind as to accompany me to the university, you can drive on to the commercial road, inquire after Doric,
That's not an address, Holmes. The commercial road's a mile long from Aldgate East to Limehouse.
and ask a costermonger where Doric's shop.
Shop?
Come on, Watson, I'm going to be late.
The equatorial rainforests of Africa, Asia, and Southern America are filled with the sound and movement of a multitude of species from the primate family. To conclude, therefore, this physical activity, the swinging amongst branches of tree and shrub, are particularly prized, but also is frequently, among the males, a ritual sexual potential of the former. Thank you, gentlemen.
No, we've got a knacker's yard next door, that's all.
All right. Right you are.
It's a dead-end cock. I said art. You just can't take
It's a shop.
Well, it must be early closing day.
This is ridiculous.
Is it?
My dear Lestrade,
Allegations, Mr. Holmes. His complaint is that of unjustified harassment.
the justification is yet to be proved. Has Presbury informed you of the facts?
Of course.
And your conclusions?
A girl, half asleep, mistook a cat or a bird or both for an intruder. That's all. Trifle.
Such a simple explanation. However, it begs the question of the family dog, does it not?
Does it?
Complex case.
Trust you to say there's more to it than meets the eye, Mr. Holmes.
I never concern myself in anything without that stimulus.
If you persist, you may find yourself at the wrong end of a private prosecution, you know. Professor Presbury is a determined man.
Then we're fairly matched, are we not?
I knew it. Well, I've said my say. Mr. Holmes.
Lestrade.
Right, you can do it. Yeah, easier than Maidstone. Poor old fella.
$144. Commercial Road.
Oh, you located Doriac. Good.
He appears to run a general store, as far as I can tell. He sells
Why not?
because the general public are not allowed in.
Did you discover anything else?
Apart from being threatened by an unhelpful brute in an alley at the side, very little. He obviously works there because he followed me back to the shop and threatened me again. Oh, there was another fellow, sharply dressed, loud waistcoat, with a moustache.
Sherwood?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Sounds like Harry Wilcox. More usually of Soho Square than the East End. Anything further?
No, not really. Except the smell. There was a very odd smell about the place.
Well, what?
It's not easy to say. Belonged to the animal kingdom.
Straw, stables?
More like a zoo.
You're still up.
Yes, sir. I thought I might finish these proofs.
Very conscientious of you, but no, you get to bed.
I'd rather not, sir. I should like...
Get to bed. Go on with you.
Yes, sir. Very well. Right, sir.
Good night.
Scribe.
The intruder.
We must rouse your father. Professor Presbury!
Father!
Sir! Sir!
What is it?
Jack thought he saw...
I fancied I heard an intruder, sir.
You did? Yes, Roy too was exercised, but when I looked out just...
No. It must have been a trick of light, sir. It must have been Edith. Yes, sir. I was mistaken. My apologies.
Bennett,
Yes, sir.
get some sleep. That's a good chap.
Watson! Watson! Watson!
Here's another baboon, removed only last week. A travelling menagerie in Oxfordshire have lost a prize chimpanzee, and Maidstone their finest gorilla.
Big Charlie.
Yeah.
Delightful chap, and well.
Well, they've all disappeared without a trace.
And Mr. Holmes, what's his interest?
He insisted to me that this may have relevance to another case he has in hand. We like to indulge him when we can. Find anything to the purpose, Mr. Holmes?
Nothing much.
I warned you. My men have been through it with a tooth comb.
The lock was released by Swell Jenkins of Stepney Green. The primate was quietened with a pad of chloroform administered by someone who lavishes their hair with Mr. Brewster of Jermyn Street's pomade. Most of the essence. Good day.
Come in. My dearest...
Oh, dear.
My dear child, what is the matter? Oh, but Alice.
I can't marry.
Yeah.
No! You must take it. There. I'm sorry.
Alice!
No! You're old. You're too old.
So Bennett actually saw the intruder's shadow inside the house.
But upon investigation, could find no further trace. You must get first to him by way of the butcher's boy. Are you coming?
Where to?
Dorak's Emporium. A specialist past Swell Jenkins took such pains to guard against you. Are you game?
Delighted. You go armed?
Always carry a firearm east of Aldgate, Watson. It's as I feared.
Well, a visit, Mr. Holmes.
Wilcox!
Heavens, Holmes, this is what I smelt.
These are Dorak's patients, poor abused creatures. Have you observed the experiments that Dorak performs on them?
Oh, no, that's none of our business, he says.
You count yourself fortunate. But the process is...
Why?
To await the police. In, gentlemen! You shall advise. He says you will do well enough, I dare say. Ah, Mr. Bennett and Miss Presley.
Yes.
I decided I had to accompany Jack, Mr. Holmes.
I'm delighted. Have you brought the list of missing dates?
Morphy has renounced my father.
She's returned his ring?
Today. Since when he has remained locked in his study.
Every time I've knocked, he shouted abuse at me. We fear.
The logic of it, Watson. Of this progression, do you see it?
Please.
2. There are also days upon which the professor received packages from London East Central.
This is the date on which the face appeared at the window 4 nights ago.
Yes.
And this is where the shadow appeared last night. Of course! The common factor is 2. Always the gap decreases by 2 days. Bennett, examine upstairs. What?
By heavens, Holmes, you were right.
Miss Presley! He's aiming for that balcony. It's locked. Then in this house break. Dog wants some love.
Stay away. Please, stay away.
It's a close thing. Just missed the carotid artery.
Is he all right?
He'll live. You've rescued from degradation was stolen for the sake of their glands.
The animal extract to be sold at enormous profit to those foolish or desperate enough to imagine that a course of serum could restore their lost vitality without any other effects.
I am grateful to you, Mr. Holmes. Thanks to you, we've traced the evil to its source.
Perhaps. But poor Presby. When one tries to rise above nature, one is liable to fall below it. The highest type of man may revert to the animal when he leaves the stew.
Is the wolfhound to be destroyed?
Oh, no. No, it was the monkey that Roy attacked, not the man. But the dog would be himself again quite as much as his master.
Well, thank you both. Good day, gentlemen.
Good day, Lestrade.
If I may say so, Holmes, I think you went a little too far in allowing Lestrade all the credit.
Not all, Watson. You can find it away in our archives. One day, the entire truth can be told.